Hi guys, good morning. Welcome back to our midweek live analysis with Prince Wonder. Now, as usual on the program, we're going to be looking at the financial markets, try to see what the market is doing, what it has been doing, where it's likely to go from here, and how we would be reacting to that. Essentially, um, what kind of trades should we be taking? What should we be expecting from the market? And so on and so forth. All right, so let's jump in. I've been taking a look at BTC just before the class, and I was just thinking to myself that there's a very, very big possibility that we're going to be having or we're going to be seeing a bearish continuation. So we're going to be seeing a bearish continuation. Now, here's what I've been looking at. Now, if you've been following my chart, I've sent this chart before, so if you should be a little familiar to those who have been attending the program. Okay, so this should be a little familiar to those who have been attending the program. So we've had a string of lower highs, right, lower lows. And if you look closely, our last prediction for the class was BTC was going to drop to retest about 20 $5,000 range, which actually happened. Although we didn't enter our zone, but we picked bottomed out at around 25,400 give or take. Now we've pulled back up to retest the top range of our resistance or our trend line or channel. So if you notice, we've retested this one, two, three, four, five, six times. We've been rejected off of this trend line, and now we're retesting it for what, the eighth time. Okay, sorry, my network went out. So we'll be expecting a drop, possibly back down here, or even to complete the trend, drop all the way down to 24,000, 23,800, 23,900, give or take. So this is actually my expectation for BTC. So if you're looking at this, you might really want to consider taking a sell, okay? Or at least don't buy anything, because the market really looks very bearish, and if that's the case, you don't want to be on the other side of things. I think it's unnecessary to enter a buy in a market that has a very big chance or high probability of dropping. All right, let's take a look at Ethereum, because it's the second largest cryptocurrency on the market. And if BTC is bearish by default, Ethereum too would be bearish, right? So there's a slight conflict I had on Ethereum. Now on BTC, I was mildly, well, completely bearish, but Ethereum is it's printing sort of a short-term bullish continuation pattern, which honestly I don't know where that is coming from yet. But printing something, okay, even BTC is starting to show signs of that. So it's printing sort of a short-term bearish, bullish continuation pattern. Oh, sorry. I think when my network went out, my screen stopped sharing. Okay, so I said I was expecting a drop to 25K, 24,000. So this is my chart. And then I'm expecting, if this pattern is to continue, this would be it. So our first key support to look out for will be 25,000. And then for a full trend reversal, we'll be expecting $24,000 on BTC. Now, looking closer on the charts, see our next trend. I said with I looked at Ethereum and I said there's a slight similarity between Ethereum and BTC on a smaller time frame. It looks like we would still have a mild pullback before a significant drop. Personally, I think this is a trap to hold to squeeze buyers. So we'll probably see something like this play out, possibly even a fake out there before we have a drop. Okay, so probably see something like this on Ethereum would have something similar. As of right now, this is our peak for Ethereum. So possibly see the market try to break this and then fail and possibly drop lower. Okay, I'm uncertain as to what my expectations should be for Ethereum on the short term, but at least over the week we shouldn't see less than 1800s. Okay, we shouldn't see less than 1800s. So for now, 1856, and then we shouldn't see less than 1800s on the short term for Ethereum. Okay, on a much larger scale, I think we'll be seeing the market drop as far as this point. Okay, so this is 1800. So should we break this? I think we're going to see a full um, bearish continuation, possibly all the way to 1700s. Because if we break this trend line now, we're probably going to drop a lot lower. So we'll be maintaining this trend line for about a month now. So should we break that, I think we're going to see no less than $1,700 for Ethereum. All right, so take a look at some other alternate coins. By the way, guys, if there's any pair you'd like me to look at, just type it in the group and I'll get to it as soon as I'm done. All right?
XRP.
Yeah, type it in the group. Okay, so for ICP, this sort of looks like a breakout retest and bullish continuation. But I honestly, with what I'm seeing on BTC, I don't think we're going to have that big a move. Although we should see a mild uptrend at least, but I don't think it's going to be that much. So probably this high, probably this high. So I think it has a very good risk to reward ratio as of right now. So 1 ratio 3.1. So this is actually a very good trade. Should BTC give us a little breathing room, this would really, really be a good one. Okay, XRP USDT. It's been a while I looked at XRP. It's a very sluggish market. It's never really been my favorite. This and EOS. Oh, by the way, sluggish markets are actually very good. If you're scalping, right? You don't want wild swings. They are a little more secure than a lot of all the other highly volatile currencies. Funny enough, it's not like it's not even volatile and stuff. It's just it consolidates a lot, and when it makes a move, it makes a lasting good move. If you look at this, you see a lot of consolidations before any big spike and stuff like that. So it takes its time to accumulate before it makes a move. So when it's making a move, you know that move is usually real, right? So there are very few fake outs and stuff like that on pairs like this. All right, so absolutely I'm bearish on this one. looks like we're forming a double top here, but I think we still have a little more room to go on the upside, but you can actually start taking your sell. You might just want to maybe wait for a better entry if you're greedy, just a little higher. But beyond that, we're completely bearish as of this point. You just place your stop loss a little above those wicks. So we have a very good risk to reward ratio. I think it's been a while since we caught a lot of the markets at a um, resistance or support where they're literally just primed for you to get into, right? I think it's been a little while we got something like this. It's actually really interesting. All right, so let's look into the forex markets. Sure some of you trade FX. So let's look into the forex market, see how that market is reacting. So over the course of what last week, we've seen a significant sell continuation on well other XXX USD pairs, right? So for the entire week, USD basically has been gaining against other currencies. Okay. Now, if you notice on what we're seeing on our chart right now, you notice a decrease in buy pressure, right? Now, of course, the market is also showing that lower high trend, but then you get to know that okay, a lot of people are really not trying to buy this market. So literally they're just suffocating the market. Now, on the short term, it looks like we're going to have a pullback kind of on Euro USD, but I personally think this is a fake out. Okay, I think this is a fake out, and it's still going to drop. At least we have to get down here before we start looking for a bullish reversal, any strong bullish reversal. Mainly because the market has not bottomed out. I think a lot of people neglect the importance of the market bottoming out. If the market doesn't bottom out, it's very difficult for you to see a big move. So the market has to bottom out before you expect some kind of explosive movement from price. So emphasize on trying to determine if the market has bottomed out before you start expecting big things of the market. Now, of course, I expect a bullish continuation to this point, but that's just a very small move, give or take 10 pips, 20 pips, give or take. Okay, 26 pips. So this is actually a very small move. But if you're expecting a big bounce from here to that resistance, you're going to have to allow the market to bottom out first. Now, here's one thing. Aside getting a very good risk to reward ratio when the market bottoms out, there's a much higher chance that that's the trend that the market is going to play. Three, there's a much shorter waiting time. Okay, so let's assume I want to take this same trade, allow the market to go up to this resistance. Naturally, my stop loss would be below this support because even if the market drops to this support, my trend is still valid, right? So I'll still have something like this, my stop loss below that support, and then my TP at this resistance. Now, the market can actually still drop back down here and I would still not close this trade, hence my stop loss being below it because from here the reversal is still very likely. So now I would have waited for the market to maybe bounce, trade, get down here and then start consolidating again and then bounce. So you see there's a much longer waiting time in addition to the fact that my risk to reward ratio is absolutely terrible getting into the market early. If I waited, got in down here, I'd have a much better risk to reward ratio. See, it went from 1.32 to 1:4.6. It's insane the difference. Much shorter waiting time, better chances of playing out, better risk to reward ratio. So there's a lot of upside to being patient and allowing price to bottom out. Okay. So there's a much shorter waiting time. There's a lot of benefits to simply being patient with the market. Okay. Okay, so there's a lot of benefits to being patient with the market. Now, I want to look at DXY. I saw someone posted something about the DXY on our WhatsApp group this morning, and it said DXY is strong today. Ah, Now, see, let's leave my old analysis and old charts and everything out of this, right? Let's run something fresh off of the DXY and where it is currently. Now, let's just work with the information where I have on my screen. First things first that I'll notice is that the DXY is at a resistance, so there's nothing strong about any market at all at a resistance. That's a very known fact, unless it's strongly bearish, right? Now, we had a divergence just what yesterday, so that's what led to this strong sell. We had a pullback, of course, and we're still rejecting from the same resistance. There's really nothing strong about the DXY right now. Okay, there's nothing strong about the DXY right now. Of course, we could still reverse pull back. I don't think we're going to break out of this. Best case scenario, we see a consolidation there before a bearish continuation. Okay, so I don't see much strength in the DXY as it is. I think this shows to confirm a little of that pullback that I say we're expecting on price, right? So you see this is a flip. The DXY is pulling back, Bitcoin bearish, right? BTC is pulling back on the bullish side. Okay, so when it gets up here, we'll then see if it's going to display strength and breakout, which I don't see happening. I think we're just going to consolidate a little bit and then quickly pull back um, while all the other markets go down and be bearish. All right, so we can actually also take a look at some of the upcoming fundamentals for the market over the next couple of days. Now, personally, when it comes to trading forex news, I've become very adept to one very good technique. Avoid it, right? I've learned how to avoid news, right? Instead of trying to trade it, try to predict it, just know when it's going to come out and then allow it to do its thing, right? So we have well ISM services 3 o'clock. Just avoid trading at 3 p.m. today. Instead of trying to predict how the thing is going to turn out and how you're going to jump in and please don't stress yourself. Just avoid it. Just allow it to play out an hour plus before, an hour plus after, and then you get back into the market. If you're taking a long-term position, you can just enter the market. Obviously, your stop loss is going to be wide enough to cover whatever downside these news are going to have on your chart, right? Okay, tomorrow, 5 a.m., I don't think anybody's going to be awake trading at this time. So tomorrow is pretty much a free day for us around here. On okay, sorry, I've been using the wrong dates. All right, so today, Wednesday, we have, okay, 3 p.m. card. So you just avoid card related pairs. Sometimes they jump into some other, they have ripple effects and jump into other pairs, but I don't think any card news is going to affect the US dollar. Tomorrow, 1 p.m., unemployment claims. It's going to shake up the market a little bit, but nothing significant. Just avoid trading, honestly. You see, I've traded a lot of news, and one thing I've noticed is the market reacts irrationally to news. there was this one time I was absolutely certain how the news was going to play out. This was going to happen, and then and then when it came out, it actually came out, and it was what I expected. But the market did not react the way I expected it to. You see, if people started selling expecting a different result, when the result comes out and it's positive, they are not going to stop selling. The market isn't just going to reverse. People have already set in a trend. So a lot of the time, trading news is really irrational, right? So it's two 50-50, which is why I prefer technical analysis when it gets paired against reacting to high impact news. Emphasis on the high impact, because I still use a lot of fundamental analysis. So when it comes to reacting to high impact things, I prefer to just avoid it and allow the trends, that period of that high volatility state to pass. If you're a scalper and that's your specialty, please go ahead, trade it. You can develop a strategy around it. Don't allow what I'm saying to have an impact on what you do. Okay, so everybody trades differently. Everybody has they know what works for them and what they've seen and what they've tuned to work in their best interest. All right.